Good morning, everybody. As you can see, I did not have the balls to fire her because she's the boss and I have to do what they say, right? Send help. We are 3T's Mobile Automotive Repair, and you are on a ride along again today. We've got 8 jobs on our list, and the first one we're going to is an AC check. I don't really know what's wrong with it. He just said the AC is not working. So we're going to get out there, evaluate this, find out what's going on. After that, in the same neighborhood, we've got an oil change and a bunch of other work going on today. So stick around. Hope you enjoy. Got some questions or comments, leave them down below. Wait till the end of the video. We'll give you full transparency on today and our week and what our goals were for the week. We'll see you then. All right, so the AC problem on this car, pretty basic. Let me show you what we got. That's burnt and melted and gone. The relay was actually gone, so that means that someone knew about the problem and either just neglected to tell me or they just forgot, whatever, I don't know. But either way, as it stands, that's the main line that feeds the compressor itself. Okay, I found more crazy here. So this means that definitely someone touched this vehicle. Let me shut it off because I'm tired of screaming and yelling. But I want you guys to see this. This is why certain people shouldn't touch cars. So, you see that melt right there on this assembly. Well, back here, right here, someone cut the wire and then spliced it into this right here. So yeah, someone definitely did some shady things to this vehicle, and we're gonna stop right here because I'm not gonna put my hands into it just yet without talking to the customer and explaining a liability or annoyance that we can have with this vehicle. So they're gonna need some wiring repairs, and we're gonna have to look into that compressor. Found no power to compressor. Checked relay box, found relay missing, connector burned, wires cut on back of relay and wired into another circuit. All right, so that Lincoln is done. We did our diag, got paid for that, and we sent over the estimate for, what is this trailer? That looks like something I don't, oh, canine something, like dog grooming or something, or nail cutting, I don't know. So we sent an estimate for the repair. We're headed over to our next job. Same neighborhood, like I said. It's just a simple oil change. So we're gonna go knock this out so we can get on to some better jobs for the day. All right, y'all, we are done with the oil change. Nothing fancy there. Obviously, it's just an oil change. I did take a moment and post a couple of videos over on TikTok. So if you're not following me there now, go do that. There should be a link below that will take you to my link tree, and you can go find us on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok. I'm not posting a lot on Facebook for this type of content. That's more for the business side, but you can follow us on all of that if you'd like. I'd really appreciate it. Outside of that, we are headed on to our next job, which is just an inspection. The gentleman has your typical Ford EcoBoost V6 twin turbo, and he says one of the turbos is leaking oil, so we need to go and verify that and find out what's going on. All right, so I just left the Ford. I do apologize I didn't show you anything on it, but I was trying to get stuff done. So anyway, it's definitely an oil leak on the passenger side turbo. I believe it's coming from the feed return line assembly. It's one whole assembly. So we got them set up to do new seals on that line. So we just have to pull the starter, fix those seals, put it all back together. We'll add some dye into it and clean it all up. And then that way, if he has a leak in the future, we can at least have the dye in there and see where it might be coming from. Outside of that, I'm gonna go run over to this next job, which I believe is a Toyota Sienna that the cooling fans do not work. So let's go check that one out. All right, Toyota Sienna van sitting out here. The cooling fans do not work, but as soon as I started it, we had a compressor that made a god-awful noise. If I can show you the front of it, I will, but it's hard to see. The clutch is melted and the fans are not coming on. I did take a quick look at the relay and I'm missing one of the powers. So we're gonna go look for those fuses, but I'm quickly checking my wiring diagrams here just to see if it has anything to do with the compressor circuit at all. All right, so this is our AC circuit diagram. This fuse right here in this top left of the screen, it's a heater fuse 10 amp. So I highlighted all the power lines. So this comes down to our air inlet servo motor, which is just an actuator, but all these lines come across and go right up here to our magnetic clutch relay, which feeds our clutch. Chances are the compressor is blowing that fuse right there, and that's what's stopping the fans from coming on. Okay, Toyota Sienna is done. I don't know how much of the footage you'll actually see, if I'll show you any of it, because it's kind of a cluster at the moment. The customer said that the fans weren't working when he was at the store the other day. He also did tell me it was overheating. Now, after kind of thinking about it a little bit more, that I left and actually like getting some information from him firsthand, the main thing we're actually finding out here is the compressor, when I first started the vehicle, made a very loud noise like it's locked up and we're creating high head pressure. That high head pressure could have been something that was happening the day that he was in the parking lot, and that could have been what was overheating his vehicle. But today, you could see the melting of the compressor clutch, and it doesn't want to work. So my theory that I told him is more than likely this is what was happening, because the fans are working, they come on, they do their job, and I tried talking to him a little bit about it. He's like, those fans haven't worked in years. That's impossible. If it never worked in years, the vehicle would overheat. He's like, well, no, because I've been in traffic and I've seen it go up, go up, go up, and then traffic started moving, so it never really got hot. He doesn't understand, so I'm trying to educate him on how that works. Low speed, high speed. In this van situation, you have one fan that comes on and then a main and then a sub fan that comes on, so you'll have two fans instead of one fan that's running, which I think I do have footage that I might have showed you of the fans actually working, and the compressor has power. I think I showed you guys that too. So chances are he just didn't understand what he was looking at, and high head pressure is causing the vehicle to overheat because it can't. If you have high head pressure, it doesn't matter how high the fans go on, you can't pull it down. That condenser will overheat your radiator. But again, I wasn't there, so I don't know how hot the vehicle got. So I gave him my theory that chances are your compressor took a failure internally and is now causing high head pressure. This is your choice on what you want to do. It's just one of those jobs where the customer puts his hands too much into the vehicle, and this is all I can tell you at the moment. So we're rolling with that, and we'll see what happens. Do you hear that? Yeah, this thing's running like crap. This is my next job here. I'll talk to you about it in just a second. So this Ford, you guys heard it running like shit. This vacuum line's off, and I'm just trying to find out where it goes behind this intake here. I'm hoping that's all it is. Okay, truck's back running. No more lean knock in it. I'm pulling up our data now so I can look at some short-term fuel trims. They're a lot better. They're not 100% perfect where I'd like to see them, but this truck has definitely not seen anything good in a long time. It's got evidence of rodent damage and stuff in there, and just kind of is what it is. But looking at some data, our short-term fuel trim, there you go. Our long-term just kicked in, which is good. It wasn't kicking in before, which, if you know drivability, long-term on these, it's not going to kick in because it's such a heavy percentage on the short term. So these are our numbers now. Short term Not too bad. Long term is what it is. O2 sensors are starting to read. Earlier, I know I didn't show it to you, but they were pegged down at 0 volts, 0.1 volt, 0.2 volts. So definitely a heavy lean condition. Not sure why that hose was disconnected in the back, but I'll tell you what, I played hell getting to it. This thing's got some rust on it. I did not want to pull that intake, so I spent extra time shoving my freaking arms in there. I'm cleaned up a little now, but we're gonna test drive it. The numbers are getting a lot better. Now we're down at like 1 and 3% on the short term, and 3.9 and 6.25% on the long term. So that's about as good as it's gonna run right now. All right, so just a recap. That F-150, it drives good now. Just a massive vacuum leak, that's all that it was. They got the vehicle recently for their grandson, so right now they're going to drive it for another week or so just to see if anything changes. Let me know if it does, and then we might move forward with some maintenance stuff, just getting some plugs in it or something like that, just because they're probably pretty fouled out for how much fuel that thing was dumping into the engine. And you know, that's it. Either way, that one's done. We're headed on to the next job, and we'll see you there. I don't know which job number this is, but it's just a water pump. Crappy little water pump for these little Ecotech motors. So we're gonna knock this out, get out of here, and I think I have one more quick check after this, which is just a power steering leak. We need to go look at that one. So, alrighty, so last job of the day, that was a Ford Ranger. I did not bring the phone with me because we had to walk through the gate around like 15 little Chihuahuas. So that was loud and just chaotic. But anyway, it's a power steering pump, so we got to make an estimate for that. All right, everybody, we are back in the office, cleaned up, ready to go. Let's go jump into some numbers, show you what we did for today. We're actually going to show you the week and where we are in the month. So let's go check it out. All right, here we go. Today, again, not the greatest day in the world. We only ended up billing out 6 jobs for a total of $150 per average RO, 67% profit margin. We only closed out $924. So I used to tell you guys I'd try to strive for $1,000 a day, but now that we are 4 days a week, that number has to go up a little. That's about $1,250 a day. So today was down a bit, which again, you're in business, that's what happens. So $624 in profits, cost me $299. Actually, I do have one more ticket that has to close on this, but it's only $90, so I'm really not worried about that. We'll deal with that next week. So let's go ahead and see where we are for the month and the week. So this week, we closed out at 22 tickets, 64% profit margin with an average RO of 202, and we were at $4,455. So we're about $500 down on this week. But since we had a really good week last week, our month should be right on par. So let's go take a look at that. This month. So this month we're at 40 ROs, $257 per average RO with a 63% profit margin. And yeah, right there, we're at $10,290 for the month of April. So if we look at our calendar, we're only the second week in, and we're tracking to do exactly what we're supposed to do. I strive for about $20,000 a month. This month has a couple extra days in it, so it's kind of split up weird, but the 24th will be our 4th week ending right here on the right. So if we do another 5,000 and 5,000, then we're going to hit our goals. So let's see, for the month so far, we're at a profit of $6,500 and about $3,750 for our cost. This company costs me right about $8,500 a month to run outside of parts. So I think I've mentioned that to you guys before. 8,300 divided by, we'll just say 4, it's about $2,075. So we're in good standings. The month is going in a good direction so far. We had a couple of down days this week from all the warranty stuff, but again, like I said, we're really on track to do good numbers. So as long as next week works out well, and the next week after that, I think we're going to keep rolling in the right direction doing this 4-day-a-week thing here. So that's really about all I got for you today. So if you liked the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave some comments down below. I always want to know what you guys are thinking about what we're doing, especially if you have certain things you'd like to see. Don't forget our mini-series is coming out soon. It is my son's birthday wedding this weekend, so that is going to take precedence over putting out some extra videos. If I got some time on Sunday, I will post some more, or maybe Saturday night. But until then, I appreciate you guys. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next ride along.